Imagine waking up in a world completely different from the one you know, where chaos reigns, technology takes an eerie turn, and unseen forces shape the fate of humanity. What if I told you that a blind mystic from the past had already warned us about the dark future of 2025? Baba Vanga, the legendary prophetess known for her chillingly accurate predictions, left behind a series of warnings about the year ahead. From global conflicts to shocking technological breakthroughs with unforeseen consequences, her visions paint a future that many are not prepared for. Are these just coincidences, or are we heading toward an unavoidable destiny? In today's video, we'll uncover Baba Vanga's most terrifying prophecies for 2025 and what they could mean for all of us. Stay until the end, because the truth might shock you. Before we begin, if you're new here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Also, drop a comment below with this powerful affirmation: I am prepared for a bright and prosperous future. Let's dive in. A year of unrest and global conflicts. Baba Vanga's prediction for 2025 paints a grim picture of rising global tensions, widespread unrest, and escalating conflicts that could reshape the world as we know it. Throughout history, she has been credited with foreseeing major global events, from the fall of the Soviet Union to the 9/11 attacks. Now, her warning for 2025 suggests that the world is heading toward an era of instability, where nations will struggle for dominance and people will face economic and social turmoil. Wars will not only be fought on battlefields, but also in political arenas, economic markets, and even cyberspace. As we move closer to this uncertain future, signs of growing instability are already visible: governments collapsing, alliances shifting, and tensions rising in key regions. The stage is set for a year that could bring some of the most intense global conflicts we've seen in recent decades. But the question remains: how prepared are we for what's coming? One of the greatest concerns about 2025 is the possibility of heightened geopolitical conflicts between world superpowers. Tensions between major nations have been steadily increasing over the past few years, with territorial disputes, trade wars, and military buildups becoming more frequent. The struggle for global dominance has reached new heights, with powerful nations forming secret alliances, deploying military forces near disputed borders, and engaging in covert operations to weaken their rivals. Many experts believe that a single miscalculation, a failed diplomatic agreement, a provocation, or an unexpected attack could be enough to spark a global crisis. Baba Vanga's prophecy suggests that 2025 could witness a major conflict involving multiple countries, one that could disrupt economies, displace millions, and even reshape the balance of power in the world. If such a conflict were to occur, it wouldn't just affect governments and soldiers. It would impact everyday people, altering their way of life, causing economic hardships, and increasing global uncertainty. Adding to these concerns is the growing role of cyber warfare and digital conflicts. In the modern world, battles are no longer just fought with weapons. They are fought with technology, data, and misinformation. Governments and powerful organizations are now engaging in silent wars, hacking financial institutions, spreading propaganda through social media, and using artificial intelligence to manipulate economies and public perception. Some experts believe that Baba Vanga's prophecy about a new kind of war refers to this digital battlefield, where conflicts are invisible, yet just as destructive as traditional warfare. If cyber attacks continue to escalate, 2025 could be a year marked by economic collapses, blackouts, and even the disruption of essential services like healthcare and communication networks. In this new era of conflict, the greatest weapon is no longer just military strength, but the ability to control information, influence populations, and weaken enemies from within. Ultimately, Baba Vanga's prophecy for 2025 serves as a stark reminder that the world is standing on the edge of uncertainty. Whether through wars between nations, revolutions within countries, or cyber conflicts in the digital realm, unrest and instability seem inevitable. While some may dismiss her warnings as mere speculation, the patterns of history suggest otherwise. Every great power shift, every economic downturn, and every revolution has always been preceded by warning signs. The real question is, will humanity take these warnings seriously and work toward peace and stability, or will we allow history to repeat itself, plunging the world into deeper conflict? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: 2025 will be a year to watch closely. A catastrophic environmental shift, Baba Vanga's prophecy for 2025 not only warns of political conflicts and economic turmoil, but also of a devastating environmental shift that could change the very way we live. The Earth has always been in a delicate balance, but in recent years we have witnessed alarming signs that nature is becoming increasingly unstable. Rising global temperatures, frequent natural disasters, and extreme weather patterns suggest that something catastrophic may be approaching. Scientists have long warned that climate change could lead to irreversible damage. But what if Baba Vanga foresaw a sudden, dramatic event? One that accelerates the destruction of ecosystems, displaces millions, and forces humanity into a crisis unlike anything before? From massive floods to volcanic eruptions and food shortages, the warning signs are here, and 2025 could be the year when the world experiences the full force of nature's wrath. One of the biggest concerns is the increasing number of natural disasters happening across the globe. Over the past decade, hurricanes have grown stronger, wildfires have burned at unprecedented rates, and earthquakes have devastated entire cities. Some experts believe that Earth is entering a period of heightened seismic and volcanic activity, which could lead to massive destruction in unexpected places. If Baba Vanga's vision of a great trembling is to be taken seriously, then 2025 could see powerful earthquakes striking major urban centers, causing loss of life, economic collapse, and infrastructure failure. Volcanic eruptions, particularly from supervolcanoes such as Yellowstone or Mount Vesuvius, could send ash clouds into the sky, blocking sunlight, disrupting air travel, and even triggering a temporary global cooling effect. Could it be that she foresaw a natural disaster so large that it reshapes the very geography of our planet? Another alarming prediction is the rapid melting of polar ice caps and the rising of sea levels, which could lead to massive flooding and the disappearance of coastal cities. Climate scientists have already confirmed that glaciers in Antarctica and Greenland are melting at an unprecedented rate, adding billions of tons of water to the oceans each year. If this continues unchecked, low-lying areas like New York, London, Shanghai, and entire island nations could be swallowed by the sea. Baba Vanga's prophecy of water rising and land disappearing aligns eerily with scientific models that predict entire regions becoming uninhabitable in the near future. This environmental shift wouldn't just affect those living near coastlines, it would trigger mass migrations, food shortages, and geopolitical struggles as millions are forced to relocate. If 2025 brings accelerated sea level rise or an unforeseen climate catastrophe, humanity could be faced with one of its greatest survival challenges yet. Beyond rising waters, another major concern is the collapse of ecosystems and the loss of biodiversity. In recent years, deforestation, pollution, and industrial expansion have driven many species to extinction, disrupting the natural balance of life on Earth. Bees, essential for pollination, are dying at alarming rates, threatening global food production. The Amazon rainforest, often called the lungs of the Earth, is being destroyed at record speed, reducing the planet's ability to absorb carbon dioxide and combat global warming. If Baba Vanga's prophecy about a great dying refers to the mass extinction of plant and animal life, then 2025 could see worsening environmental destruction, leading to food shortages, famine, and the breakdown of agricultural systems. Without action, we may soon find ourselves in a world where clean water is scarce, crops fail, and once thriving ecosystems turn into barren wastelands. Finally, one of the most terrifying possibilities is the outbreak of new diseases linked to environmental changes. Scientists have warned that as permafrost melts in the Arctic, Ancient viruses and bacteria trapped in ice for thousands of years could be released into the atmosphere. Baba Vanga predicted the rise of mysterious illnesses that would spread rapidly, baffling scientists and doctors alike. Could 2025 be the year when a new pandemic emerges, one that is deadlier and harder to contain than anything we've seen before? The destruction of forests and ecosystems also increases the risk of zoonotic diseases, where viruses jump from animals to humans, much like what happened with past pandemics. If environmental destruction continues unchecked, we may not just face natural disasters, but also a biological crisis that threatens the health and survival of millions. A global economic collapse. Baba Vanga's predictions have often pointed to major financial upheavals, and her warning for 2025 suggests that the world may be on the verge of a global economic collapse. The modern financial system is built on delicate balances. Stock markets, trade agreements, currency stability, and economic policies all work together to keep the system functional. However, in recent years, we have seen increasing inflation, debt crises, collapsing banks, and rising inequality, all of which point to an impending economic disaster. If 2025 is the year when this fragile system finally breaks, the consequences could be devastating. Businesses shutting down, job losses skyrocketing, national debts spiraling out of control, and millions of people plunging into poverty. Could it be that Baba Vanga foresaw a financial crash so severe that it shakes the very foundations of the global economy? One of the biggest warning signs of an impending economic collapse is the rising debt levels of major economies. Countries like the United States, China, and many European nations are carrying trillions of dollars in debt, and as global interest rates rise, repaying these debts becomes increasingly difficult. If governments struggle to pay their debts, it could trigger a chain reaction, currencies devaluing, stock markets plummeting, and financial institutions collapsing. We've seen how economic crashes in the past, like the Great Depression of 1929 or the 2008 financial crisis, led to widespread suffering. But if Baba Vanga's warning is accurate, the crisis of 2025 could be even worse. Some experts believe that a major financial reset is coming, one where the traditional banking system collapses, digital currencies take over, and entire nations are forced to rethink their economic strategies to survive. Another critical factor contributing to economic instability is inflation and the rising cost of living. Around the world, prices for food, energy, housing, and essential goods have been skyrocketing, making life increasingly difficult for ordinary people. While wages remain stagnant, the cost of survival keeps climbing, pushing many families into financial hardship. If 2025 sees inflation spiral out of control, basic necessities could become unaffordable for millions, leading to civil unrest, mass protests, and even riots. History has shown that when economic conditions become unbearable, societies begin to break down, governments collapse, and revolutions occur. Could Baba Vanga's prophecy be hinting at a time when economic desperation leads to chaos, forcing people to fight for survival in ways we have not seen in modern times? Beyond inflation, another looming crisis is the instability of global markets and trade systems. The world economy is deeply interconnected. When one major nation suffers a financial collapse, the effects spread across the globe. If a country like China or the United States faces a severe recession, supply chains will break, factories will shut down, and international trade could come to a halt. This would lead to shortages of essential products, from electronics to medicine and even food supplies. Many industries are already struggling with labor shortages, shipping delays, and resource depletion. If a global financial crisis were to occur in 2025, it could disrupt economies worldwide, leading to unemployment at historic levels, food crises in vulnerable regions, and a dramatic increase in poverty. Baba Vanga's prophecy of a time when wealth disappears and hunger rises may be a chilling reminder that we are headed toward a world where financial security becomes a luxury, not a guarantee. One of the most concerning aspects of a potential economic collapse is the rise of digital currencies and the decline of traditional banking systems. Over the past decade, we have seen an increasing shift toward digital transactions, online banking, and even government-backed digital currencies. While this may seem like progress, it also presents a dangerous risk: the complete control of money by powerful entities. If banks collapse and governments introduce centralized digital currencies, people may lose control over their own finances, with every transaction being monitored and controlled. Could Baba Vanga's prophecy be hinting at a future where physical cash disappears and financial freedom is taken away? If so, 2025 could be the year when a new financial order emerges, one where only the most powerful benefit while ordinary citizens struggle to adapt to a system that gives them little control over their own money. Ultimately, Baba Vanga's warning of a global economic collapse in 2025 is not just speculation, it aligns with real economic warning signs that we are already witnessing today. Whether through rising debt, inflation, collapsing trade systems, or the shift to digital currencies, the world may be on the brink of a financial disaster that changes everything. The real question is, are we prepared for this crisis, or will we be caught off guard when the system collapses? One thing is certain: if Baba Vanga's prediction comes true, 2025 will be a year when wealth disappears, economies crumble, and the world enters a new financial era unlike anything we've seen before. A technological breakthrough with dark consequences. Baba Vanga's predictions often speak of monumental advancements in science and technology, and many believe that 2025 could mark a turning point where a breakthrough revolutionizes human society. Over the last decade, we have witnessed rapid developments in artificial intelligence, quantum computing, genetic engineering, and robotics. But with these advancements come unintended and potentially dangerous consequences. Could 2025 be the year when technology crosses an ethical boundary, leading to unforeseen dangers that threaten human autonomy, security, and even survival? Baba Vanga's cryptic warning of a man-made force that escapes control suggests that while science may achieve incredible feats, it may also unleash a power that humanity is not prepared to handle. One of the most discussed technological advancements today is artificial intelligence, AI, and experts warn that we are on the verge of a breakthrough that could make AI nearly indistinguishable from human intelligence. In recent years, AI has surpassed human abilities in many fields: writing, art, medicine, and even military strategy. If 2025 is the year when AI achieves full autonomy, it could lead to a dangerous situation where machines no longer need human oversight. Some fear a future where AI replaces human jobs, controls economic systems, and even influences politics, creating a world where decisions are no longer made by people but by complex self-learning algorithms. Could Baba Vanga's prophecy of a digital ruler be referring to a scenario where AI gains too much power, leading to unforeseen consequences for humanity? Beyond AI, another area of rapid advancement is genetic engineering and biotechnology, particularly in the field of human DNA modification. Scientists have already developed CRISPR technology, allowing them to edit genes with extreme precision. In 2025, we may reach a point where genetic enhancements become widely available, allowing humans to increase intelligence, extend lifespan, or even alter physical abilities. But with such power comes ethical dilemmas. Who gets access to these enhancements? Will it create a divide between the genetically modified elite and ordinary humans? Worse still, could reckless experimentation lead to unintended mutations, the creation of new diseases, or bioengineered organisms that threaten the ecosystem? Baba Vanga's warning of a new kind of human may be hinting at a biological revolution where science alters the very fabric of humanity, but at an extreme cost. Another alarming possibility is the rise of advanced cyber warfare and digital control. As nations invest billions in hacking, surveillance, and cyber weapons, the next global conflict may not be fought with soldiers, but with AI-driven cyber attacks capable of shutting down power grids, stealing classified information, and even manipulating reality through deep fakes and propaganda. If 2025 sees the creation of an AI-powered surveillance system that monitors every aspect of human life, personal privacy could become a thing of the past. In a world where governments and corporations control digital identities, financial transactions, and even online thoughts, freedom itself may be at risk. Could Baba Vanga's vision of a world ruled by unseen hands be a reference to a society where technology, not human leaders, dictates the course of our lives? Perhaps the most chilling prediction relates to robotics and autonomous weapons, which are developing at an unprecedented pace. In recent years, military technology has moved toward AI-powered drones, robotic soldiers, and self-thinking combat systems. If 2025 sees the deployment of autonomous weapons with no human oversight, it could lead to wars fought entirely by machines, where human life becomes irrelevant. A system like this could escalate conflicts beyond human control, making decisions based on pure logic rather than ethics. Baba Vanga's prophecy of machines deciding the fate of men could be pointing to a world where AI-driven warfare spirals out of control, creating a future where battles are fought by robotic armies while humans watch helplessly from the sidelines. In the end, 2025 could be the year when technology reaches a point of no return, a time when scientific progress surpasses human control, bringing both extraordinary benefits and terrifying risks. Whether it's AI, genetic engineering, cyber warfare, or autonomous weapons, one thing is certain: the choices humanity makes in 2025 will determine whether technology serves us or destroys us. Baba Vanga's prophecy warns that while we may achieve incredible advancements, we must also be prepared for the dark consequences that come with them. The real question is, will we be ready when that moment arrives? A mysterious epidemic emerges. Throughout history, deadly epidemics have reshaped civilizations, from the Black Death in the 14th century to the Spanish flu of 1918 and the more recent COVID-19 pandemic. Baba Vanga's predictions for 2025 warn of yet another mysterious outbreak, one that could spread rapidly and cause global panic. While modern medicine has advanced tremendously, new diseases continue to emerge, sometimes more resistant, unpredictable, and deadly than before. Could this new epidemic be a man-made virus, an ancient disease awakened by climate change, or something entirely unknown? If Baba Vanga's vision is correct, 2025 may mark the beginning of a terrifying health crisis that the world is unprepared for. One alarming possibility is the rise of a virus more deadly and contagious than anything seen before. Scientists have long warned about the potential for mutations in existing viruses, which could make them more resistant to vaccines and treatments. Recent outbreaks of Ebola, Marburg virus, and even new strains of influenza have shown how quickly diseases can spread when conditions are right. If 2025 sees the emergence of a highly infectious pathogen, the world could experience another lockdown, mass casualties, and a breakdown of healthcare systems. Hospitals could be overwhelmed, doctors might struggle to find effective treatments, and panic could lead to social unrest, economic decline, and mass migration as people flee infected areas. Baba Vanga's warning of a disease that comes suddenly and leaves the world changed forever suggests that this new epidemic could be unlike anything humanity has ever faced. Another theory is that this epidemic could arise from melting permafrost in the Arctic, where ancient viruses and bacteria have been trapped for thousands of years. As climate change accelerates, frozen lands are thawing at an alarming rate, potentially releasing deadly pathogens that modern immune systems have never encountered. Scientists have already discovered prehistoric viruses in ice samples, some of which have the potential to infect living organisms. Could Baba Vanga's prediction be pointing to a long-dormant disease awakening, bringing a nightmare from the past into the modern world? If such an event were to happen, it could lead to rapidly spreading infections with no known cure, forcing humanity into another desperate race to find a solution. A more unsettling possibility is that this new epidemic may not be natural at all, but rather a bioengineered weapon. In recent years, governments and secret research facilities have been experimenting with genetic modifications, synthetic biology, and viral mutations. The possibility of an accidental or deliberate release of a lab-created pathogen is no longer just a conspiracy theory. It is a real threat recognized by top scientists and security agencies. If 2025 sees the outbreak of a bioengineered disease, it could be designed to target specific populations, evade detection, or spread silently before symptoms appear, making containment nearly impossible. Baba Vanga's warning of an invisible enemy that turns brother against brother could suggest that governments, pharmaceutical companies, and global elites may exploit this crisis for their own gain, leading to fear, misinformation, and even conflicts over vaccines and treatments. One of the most terrifying aspects of a mysterious epidemic is how quickly it can spread due to globalization. Unlike past pandemics, modern society is more connected than ever, with millions traveling across continents daily. A virus that begins in a remote village could spread worldwide in days, overwhelming even the most advanced healthcare systems. If 2025 brings a highly contagious airborne disease, social structures could collapse, forcing governments to implement extreme measures such as mandatory vaccinations, digital health passports, and quarantines. While these policies may be necessary for public safety, they could also lead to a new era of surveillance, loss of freedoms, and increased government control over individual lives. Could this be the real dark consequence of the mysterious epidemic Baba Vanga predicted? In the end, whether this mysterious disease comes from nature, ancient ice, or human interference, one thing is clear. A major health crisis could be looming in 2025. The question is, will humanity be prepared, or will history repeat itself with fear, chaos, and unpreparedness? Baba Vanga's prophecies serve as a warning, urging us to pay attention to the signs, strengthen our health systems, and remain vigilant against the unseen threats that may be waiting just around the corner. The future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: preparation is key. If Baba Vanga's warnings hold any truth, we must stay aware, informed, and ready for whatever comes. What do you think about these predictions? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more eye-opening insights.